Has anyone done any sort of psychology studies of the cognitive and emotional biases that we carry with us? A little bit, here and there. So can anyone tell me what confirmation bias is?
You give the things that confirm what you
already believe.
You
right.
disregard what contradicts.
Right. See, we have this imagination, we have this belief that we want to make a decision, so we go gather all the relevant data, and then we look through the data dispassionately and we make a choice. That's not how our brains work, though. We have preconceived ideas, and our brain filters the information coming to us and highlights this you might want to pay attention to, this you don't need to pay attention to. And the highlights are things that you already agree with. And the things you're not supposed to pay attention to, according to your brain, are things that disagree with your already preconceived notions. So confirmation bias is something you have to almost force yourself to read people that disagree with you on a regular basis. And so we were talking over here earlier, Jack and I, about, he was like, how do you present all this stuff? And I read 60 blogs on a daily basis. I read economists across the country. I read both sides of the aisle. I'm reading constantly all the time. And so it helps me challenge my own notions of what I might think I know. So anyone know what information bias is?
Choose a source more to your liking.
Sort of. Information bias is what's readily available to you. So you find, okay, so you try to explain something, and this kind of goes with oversimplification, but the information you have is the information you use. And you don't have all the other information, so you have a bias towards what's readily available to you, okay? So do you have at any one time all the information about the global economy and the markets?
No.
Does anyone? No. So when you go into the whole conversation about markets and economy, what you should bring with you as a baseline is humility, okay? Not a belief on what's going to happen next. Everyone knows loss aversion, right? I've talked about this a lot up here. So Kahneman and Tversky, Kahneman won the Nobel Prize for basically studying the effect that we all prefer. We dislike losses more than we like gains. So we are more averse to loss than we are appreciative of gains. Make sense? Does anyone disagree with that? No, okay. Oversimplification. See how that ties with information bias. Information is what's available, but then when you watch CNBC or you watch media, they're going to say, oh, the market went up today because of the unemployment report. Does anyone get sucked into that? I mean, I'll admit it. Sometimes I go, oh, that makes good sense. We had a good unemployment report, so that must be why the market went up. No, right? The market moves are inexplicable, and the daily movement of markets is pointless and meaningless anyways. So hindsight bias. This one's fantastic. This one I run into all the time. Anyone might take a stab at what hindsight bias is?
If I had bought Apple the first year.
I woulda, coulda, yeah. I should have done this, I should have done that. But we have to just give ourselves a break. Like, we don't know what the future holds when the future's in front of us. It's really easy to say, well, this is what happened after the fact. But we have to make a decision now with limited information. So hindsight bias causes folks to take and think in a straight line. That which just happened will just continue as it is. So the S&P 500 has done really, really well, outperformed other things. It's probably going to continue the way it is, right?
No, that means it's going to drop.
Neither. Okay.